Welcome back to another episode of Thor's Mistakes, the 52 business lessons on what not to do in business. This is lesson number 5.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. For the next 52 weeks, every Wednesday, I share a lesson on what not to do in business. That's right, what not to do. I did it. I don't suggest that you try it. It did not work out very well for me. Today is lesson number 5. Today's show is sponsored by Audible.com. For a free 30-day trial and a free downloaded book, simply go to audibletrial.com/peak performers. You can also find a link in the show notes. The feedback on these Wednesday shows have been overwhelming. The emails that you've sent in really commending me for my honesty and openness and willingness to share the things, quite frankly, I'm not very proud of, but it didn't go the right way. But I really want to make sure that I can pass along these lessons so you don't have to do them yourself. Now, each of these lessons are not going to be exactly applicable to you. Some may. But today's is going to be a little bit different, but hopefully this story will resonate with you. And if there's a situation going on in your life, in your business right now, that is similar, you can nip it in the butt and take care of it. In 1999, I started my first company, Private Equity Risk Consultants. I was advising private equity firms on the acquisition and divestiture of portfolio companies in the area of risk management and insurance. I was very lucky in this company. The first day I started operations, a client purchased 90% of my time. I immediately had 15 clients. They had combined revenues of $12.7 billion, and they had operations in over 100 countries. Right? It's a great way to start off a business. 90% of your time is taken. You've got this incredible list of clients. You're working with some of the most intelligent private equity geniuses in the world, working with the top law firms, and literally traveling around the world. Stayed in the best hotels. International flights were first class. I mean, this was a great way to kick off your first business. Well, you're probably saying to yourself, okay, what's the lesson? Well, here's the lesson. Before agreeing to take on this client, I failed to ask myself, what does this really look like? What am I going to be doing on a day-to-day basis? How often am I going to be out of the country, traveling in hotels, and away from my family? At the time, I was newly married, had 2 small children. I was trying to balance everything, a new family and a new business. And with all of this travel, it really became very difficult. A matter of fact, a few years ago, my son joked, I didn't even know about this. He thought I was in the CIA. He goes, I knew that you traveled all over the place and you're kind of mysterious and you come in and you disappear for a few weeks and then you be back. And I told all my friends that you were in the CIA. I kind of laugh about that now, but it wasn't funny. The point was I was away a lot. You know, I remember one night I was trying to get back into my hotel room and I think it was 5:06 if I recall correctly. And I'm putting the key in, it's not working. I'm putting the key in, I'm trying the doorknob. And all of a sudden I hear within the room, this woman picks up the phone and says, I think someone's trying to break into my room. Well, I was trying to get into the wrong hotel room. Number 506 was the night before. I was in a different city at a different hotel and I couldn't even keep my hotel room straight. Now, if someone's listening that travels a lot, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you end up in a city, you end up at a hotel, and it just all seems to just blend together. You don't know where you are, you don't know where you're staying, and quite frankly, you just start to lose touch. And what happens is, if you're trying to balance things on the other side, family, kids, your health, all those other things that make up your life, many times your job, your career, your business, and all that travel can get in the way. So today's lesson, today's screw up for me was I never really sat back and really, truly looked at how much time I was going to be away and the cost that was going to be, not only on myself, but on my family. The question of the day is what you're doing right now for work, whether it's your own business or you're working for somebody else. Is it in alignment with your overall vision? Is it moving you closer to that vision that you have for your life? One, do you have a vision for your life? I hope you do. If you don't, please do that now. And then get honest with yourself. Is your job, is your career, is your business moving you closer to that vision? And then are there any conflicts? What is the cost to your family, to your health, to your financial goals? And if something needs to change, come up with a plan and figure out how to make those changes. You get one shot at this. You get one life. Change is tough, but it's temporary. Regret is permanent. I wish you the very best, and I hope none of you are in a situation where you're traveling the world and suffering a really high cost in other areas of your life. If it's something that you enjoy and you're having fun and it's in alignment with what you want to be doing and it's moving you closer to your vision, great. If not, change it. You'll be happy that you did. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter @ThorConklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.